For more updates, click on subscribe and click on bell button for latest notifications.
Hi friends, welcome to Tech ARKIT YouTube channel. My name is Ravi. In this video session, we are going to learn about AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner certification. So that certification codes we are going to learn is CLFC01. Let's see. So what is this certification is about? The foundations of cloud computing. So this is a foundational certificate for the cloud computing. The core AWS services including compute, network, and databases storage, right? So this is the certification is about security best practices, compliance in the AWS cloud. So you should learn the what is security best practices. You can see that so there are so many security incidents happens on the company so that you could able to protect your data and your services and your accesses. So how you can do that based on the security best practices, right? So what is the compliance, data compliance, and the what is the compliance categories you have to look into whenever you are loading the data to the AWS cloud, right? That is the things you are going to learn in this course. Uh, the cloud cost, economics, and billing practices of the cloud. So this is the one which is important to the management layer or who is looking after a cost and the billing methods, right? How you can save your cost and what is the cost incurred whenever you are um, hosting any services on the AWS, right? How you can save those costs, how you can opt for an best services or the best cost optimization services, or how you can optimize your cost while running the similar infrastructure or more than what you have on premises so that you can save the cost. So that is the things you are going to learn about in this certification. By end of this course, you will understand AWS services and how they are leveraged to build applications and provide products and services in the real world. So basically, you will explore most of the AWS services which are required to host your computes, network, databases, and storage, and security best practices. Basically, that is how your security is tied up and what is the security models you can look for, right? How you can improvise your products and services in a real world. So this is all the certification is about. Who should learn basically? Who should learn this certification? Who is intended to this certification is for? So there is no limitation, right? So basically intended for anyone who is interested for learning the basic principles of AWS. So this is where if you're looking coming forwards to the cloud platforms, right? This is the certification, the basic certification which is required to move forward to the cloud computing things like AWS cloud platform. Starting course to get familiar with the AWS cloud. So you can understand what is AWS cloud, how this background infrastructure, how is the security is provided by, and how you can bring up the compute services, all this stuff. So this is basically an introduction course or the um, learning the basics code. So anyone can do is um, ready to learn the AWS cloud. So that is begin with. So if you want to write a certification after this course, so what is the format and how you can write it or how many marks you have to get all this stuff. So here in the certification, which has a all multiple choices and multi-response choices. Like example, they give any scenario based questions and you have to select the multiple, or they will give the multiple choices. Out of that you have to select the correct one, and there are some questions which require to have multiple responses, which means multiple correct answers you have to select. So this is the exam format, and the total questions you will be asked is 50 questions you have to answer. um, Out of that, 50 questions have 1000 marks, and pass marks are 700. The exam duration is 90 minutes. So you have to complete the 50 questions in a 90 minutes. So that's the examination format, how you can write the certification. What is the course content you, so what is the certification content you have to learn in order to complete your certification, or you have to earn the certification, right? So this is basically introduction to the cloud. So how is the cloud is, and how the cloud infrastructure is built, all this stuff, and how to create your free tier account, how you can create your free tier account to start with, and what are the services you can utilize, and you can just touch and feel using the free tier account. How is the console view, and where you can navigate between the console and all. So that's the free tier account, and we can also put some practical scenarios here, like how you can create your EC2 instance and access the EC2 instance, right? How you can upload the data to the AWS bucket, S3 buckets, right? So that's all a little bit practical. We are going to keep in this course, right? And cloud concepts, basically foundation of the cloud compute, understanding cloud compute, and exploring the advantages of the cloud computing. So whenever you are switching to the cloud, what are the advantages you are going to get? So that's the major one you have to understand here, right? Cloud computing and deployment models. What are the deployment models you have? How can you leverage those models to build the best infrastructure and best cost effective models, right? That is the um, thing, right? And how you can utilize a global infrastructure where you can go global in minutes, right? How you can do that. So that's the major parts you have to understand in this course, right? So we are going to explain you those things in this course. So the next one is security and complaints. So this is the major one where you can provide a max security to your applications, right? So there is a shared responsibility models between you and the AWS cloud provider. So the AWS and you, there is a shared responsibility, which means that some of the responsibilities shared by the cloud, some of the responsibilities is shared with you. So you have to be responsible on those models, so that you have to keep your responsibility on, so that you can keep the best security and compliance methods, right? And leveraging the well architected framework. So there are the pillars of this architect, how those architect works and all this stuff you can learn in this course. And access management, identity and access management, which is the user permissions, roles, permissions, and all this stuff, how you can provide the least privileges to the users, and restrict the users based on the security requirements. Exploring the application security services, exploring the additional security services, and utilizing the data encryption methods, like how you can encrypt your data while transiting and in the rest, right? The data is stored on the buckets or somewhere else, how you can encrypt the data using the secrets management services, right? So this is the security and compliance things. And from the technology perspective, you're going to explore, we are going to explore this EC2 compute. So what are the associated EC2 computes like EBS, EFS, right? All this um, computing and computing services and the storage services like S3. So what are the S3 buckets you have? What are the types of it? And networking services like VPCs, subnets, availability zones, um, all of them we are going to explore security groups, all this stuff, and content delivery networks like how you can utilize your um, edge locations or the content delivery networks so that you can uh, deliver your content faster to the global uh, and SQS, SES, and SNS services. Uh, there are so many other stuff like AI, ML, data science. There are associated tools we are going to explore. Basically, what is this service touch upon, and what the services can provide you, and what is the advantages you get using that service, and how you can use that. What is that how you can explore that services that we are going to see on this technology part, and auditing, monitoring, logging, and analytics related services, right? There are going to be a plenty of services you are going to learn in this technology part. Coming to the billing and pricing, basically how the AWS pricing is done, and you have to understand the cost incurred whenever you are hosting any services or any products you wanted to uh, build upon using this AWS cloud, right? How the billing services works, how you can save them, right? What is the governance services, right? Example, there is a compliance requirement, all this stuff, how you can um, do that, all this stuff, and utilizing the management services and support plans to where you can save the cost, right? And you can utilize the best part of your services and you can save the cost. So that's the um, thing where you can optimize on the cloud, right? So that gives you a more um, services within a less cost if you know what to utilize and when to utilize and how you can do this uh, pricing, right? So what are the best pricing models available and what is the best prices available over there so that you can uh, utilize those services based on the pricing models. So if you understand this part, then you are good to go with the AWS cloud. So like example, if you see what is the price I get and what is the savings I get, right? This is most of an management part where you have to look at this savings, all this stuff. So that's the course content, which is covered basically exploring the AWS cloud services, right, and technology services, security, and pricing and billing models. So that's all this course is about, right? And we are going to deep dive with a more upcoming videos. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos and courses. And follow regularly this course content and best of luck, you can earn the cloud practitioner certification by completing this course.